Right then guys, from my little pew, my little setup here. Yeah, still haven't built more shelves yet. When it rains, it hasn't rained. So anyway, here I am. Hello. Got to do a little walk round rather than showing my face so much. Yeah. So today's been fairly busy. I'm not doing as much as I thought I would. Cut a few of these down. That one's a little bit more worrying. Anyway, I'm going to probably tackle that tomorrow. Chuck them over in the pile of dead trees and boughs. And then today I did all this. Trimmed this all back. Got the strimmer going. Managed to figure out why it was vibrating so much. I basically did it wrong. Not surprising. And yeah, trimmed around. So now you can actually walk around with kind of seeing what you're stepping on. There's a few stones and things like obviously pushing up through the ground. I think there's a name for that, where stones will find their way to the surface, and the pressure and everything. Here comes the rain now, actually, talking about rain. Good timing, to be finished. So I did actually manage to clear all of this up to the edge here, so we kind of can see it more clearly now. The size of the hole, the pond. You get some frogs or something soon. And there's the old oil tank. Right, so yeah, I even kind of trimmed up to the edge here. I'd like to recover this hedging here. Look at those beautiful berries. Is that hawthorn or something? I don't know what that is. Let's look it up. I'm sure someone will tell me. Yeah, you might see this moss here, but we'll come back to that. Yeah, here's the work that Gina and the boys did the other day. I'll try not to mess it up, but there's another pile of moss here. That's me. Apologies, Gina. Apologies, kids. Yeah, so let's go through here. So I cleared all this back. You might have seen this yesterday. Probably thinking, what have you done, Andy? Because that's what you did yesterday. But that was to do with the septic tank. And I forgot to mention the septic tank. I just said, yeah, I've cleared it all out. But I never actually mentioned what it was for. It was the septic tank. So I'm going to have someone assess that and see what's going on there. Yeah. I mean, surprisingly, considering all of the mess that's around, it's actually got water in it and not roots. Anyway, cover you back up. Right, now here's a pile of stuff from clearing it yesterday, but I managed to actually sort of use the brush cutter today, so now I've got that, like I say, I got it working properly because I did it properly. And after doing all that trimming, I decided to cut this down. Now my sister Nick, she told me what this is. It's not cotton, it's a type of mayberry or something. Anyway, it's very annoying, hard to cut, but you see there's a tree there that's actually been down for a while, a bough of that's the whole tree there, and that's grown up over the year since I've only just got the keys to the place. I didn't want to start doing all this clearing out, but all of this here was covered, so I can now walk around. The thing is, I can now get the chainsaw out here, and so I kind of cleared all of this. I left that little thing there just so to let people know there is a hole there where those trees have all gone down. Look at them. It's like a collective mass of pines, which unfortunately are mine. Yay! And I created this alleyway here because you couldn't get in here because of all of these cottony things. And now I can sort of get here fairly safely, and I can start chopping this up. Start at the end, I guess, and work my way towards the base, to the stump, to the root ball. But yeah, This is also what I cleared out today as well. It's hard going. It's hard going. So most of this is actually chopped down. And these are the ones that went in Amy. I can now get to them, and you can see quite how big they were, or are. But look at that, all the way from there, all the way down to there. I don't know. Measuring by eye, I'm not very good at it. But I'd say that's a good 40 foot probably. 40 foot. And then see that big rhododendron there? I want that gone. Everyone likes a rhododendron when they're flowering, but they are a weed, really. They just grow and grow, and they just have all these runners and stuff or whatever, and sort of replicating. They become an absolute nuisance, and the way it's grown, I'll show you in a bit before I clock off for the day. Yeah, these ones. Whoosh, they gotta go. That is actually a telegraph pole. And when I first came to see this property, there was still a phone line that was here, and there was a bow down, and it had got the cable under tension. So it was old copper cable, obviously old copper phone line, to the street, which is over there somewhere. And yeah, this is actually a telephone pole covered in ivy and surrounded by the hedging and brambles, obviously. And somehow that survived so far. But anyway, that's an issue. Well, that's something to sort out, but it's kind of causing an issue for the felling of these ones, because I would probably like to go this way. Once I've cleared this out, I'd probably like to get them dropped diagonally across this way, so I don't end up triangled up against these trees here, causing sort of massive danger issues like hazards, so for chopping down. So yeah, anyway, gotta figure out what I'm going to do with that telegraph. Well, probably just have to run this one. We'll have to just go down kind of where I've cleared out here. Yeah, there's a problem for, probably need to get a professional in on that. There's some things I'm willing to risk, and there's some things I get a little bit scared, out of my comfort zone. Now you can see around here, I'll show you this. I think I showed you this before, but this was all in place and working. Well, I say working, it was sat on its pedestal, 3 sort of cinder block towers or columns, and this was all concrete, because this is actually concrete under here. Under here is sort of a concrete path that goes all the way around the house. Well, this one is actually, but when this one came and Storm Dara and ripped it out, it just completely annihilated this tank and the base. So it kind of didn't actually destroy it as such, it just lifted all of the earth here, and by God, it was lucky. It was lucky it didn't rip down the house corner. Oh God, very treacherous around here. And yeah, come back to that in a sec. I'll just tell you about this. So we have obviously cleared this out now, and it's starting to look a bit more like not a lawn, but something usable anyway. It'll definitely keep less moisture in the ground now, which is the problem when you leave the grass long, is it just turns to mush and the water doesn't evaporate. So when it rains, it never evaporates, and so the ground just gets so boggy, the topsoil. So you need to chop. There's a car coming. There he goes. Seen that guy a few times with his caddy and trailer. Smallhold farmer, I would say. Anyway, this is the rhododendrons. Look at this. Meh. You see the way it just sort of winds and grows. It's obviously been chopped back before, and it just comes back for more. It's like and you see some new growth there coming out of the ground. And obviously there's that nice hedging, would be nice. And sycamores, again, I was saying before, how they're just a weed really as well. And like, yeah, here we are. So look at the size of these. These are also pretty tall, probably like 20 foot tall. But I'm a little bit less worried about chopping them down, because I feel like with the angle of those, they'll just drop to the ground. Just wear a hard hat, hey? And yeah, and there's a post there of what was originally a like wire fencing or whatever. Probably barbed wire maybe, to stop cattle getting in, sheep and that, escaping out the field. And actually one thing I noticed, and I'll show you this, and then we'll go and finish off the video with the last bit of work that I was doing before I go home. I say home, this is home now. You can see that is the old base here. Oh, focusing on my finger, but like where that is sort of there, that angled bit there, that's the concrete corner post for the fencing that went along the side of the house as well, up the side there, all through those what would have been conifer hedges, and it would have gone along all the way here. But amazing, that root ball, I mean that's 10 foot at least high, that thing has come down, and yet that post, whoever did that base, fair play buddy, you made it good. Right, I'll show you the last bit of things I was doing. So I went on Amazon about a month or so ago, because I was trying to figure out what I was going to do about all the moss on the roof, and I bought a scraper. I'll show you in a minute, but yeah, had a little quick go with it. It's got a long handle, you can sort of attach handles to stretch it out, but I stood on the step ladder and just gave that a little bit of a clean out, and I found a method that works quite well now. And that corner there is all of that down there, and it's just thick, matted. Basically all of, I guess there were probably, I think there were some more pines really close to the house, and all of the leaves and all the bits and just fall off the tree and just built up over the years to it created like a soil which the moss is happily eating. And I started scraping up there as well, because I want to have a look, because there's a massive leak into that back room there. Obviously you can see the one at the top, but that's actually is an issue, but I'm not, obviously that's an obvious one, but there is actually an issue where that yellow sheet was, which obviously some sort of method, like sort of temporary repair, sort of prevention of leaking, but it is still leaking. And I thought, let's scrape it off so I can have a look at what's going on there. And yeah, the metal scraper thing's great, because it's quite damp still, everything's sort of wet. It scrapes off real easy, and I found the method is to sort of scrape down and pull towards you, and because there's no gutters I don't have to clear them out. I gotta look at the silver linings. I think that's the motto for today, silver linings, right? Yeah, I'll show you this tool. I can't remember how much it was. It wasn't particularly expensive, 20 quid or something. Here we go. Yeah, it's this beast. Put a little plastic cover on it, maybe it'll stop it from rusting up so much. But yeah, this beast, it's just a very sharp bladed thing. It's got like multiple connectors, so you can have it different lengths. You can use it on pavement or whatever, but I think the main use for it is probably scraping off moss off roofs and things like that. So when I get my scaffold tower up, which is over there, still stacked up, I will get that up, and I think that's going to be like a weekend's work doing all of that. Yeah, fun times ahead. But it would be nice to get it all scraped off and then figure out if it's worth salvaging that roof, or I think once I start ripping the ceiling out inside as well, I'll start seeing what the condition is of those joists and trusses and that, and see what's really going on. The ridge beam does look rather wavy. Like a sine wave. Right, anyway, after dropping the phone, I'll wave goodbye. Well, oh, hi. Fancy meeting you here. So I've done a bit of clearing, and there we go. Ran out of fuel in the chainsaw, so I'm going to go and fill her up in the shed. Take a little bit of a break because I'm wet, and those damn bush things just hit me on the head every time I reach in to get a branch. I get whacked. Not much I can do about it. They pull out real easy, but you just have to sort of you can't get to them because of the branches. So it's a bit of a conundrum. Anyway, getting there. Had a lot of chats. Met the old owner's uncle today. Again, he came round. He's going to get his machinery from the yard at the weekend, and he's going to get his bales of hay in the spring. Now, a little bit annoying, but hey, I'm not going to get hay. You know, I don't want to make enemies. He's a nice guy. He showed me some of the stuff with the well, and yeah, so like he's a nice guy. And my mate James, he came round, and he's gonna tackle the roof a bit with me, and yeah, there's some good positive stuff anyway. So right, let's go back to the shed. All right, more to come. Whistle while you work. My dummy. Anyway, I've had enough of being out in this field. Gonna cut down some laurel next, I think. What we're dealing with today doesn't look like much. That is one trunk up to that end bit there. And most of the problem, and this is the pile of branches, mostly off of that one. Yeah, and this is stuff that's been sat for a year. See, it's gone black, all of the leaves. Yeah, they're rotting, and if you leave it long enough, you get some pretty cool fungus, like mushrooms and that growing on. There's one that looks like a truffle, and yeah, anyway, I'm now at a stage where I can actually chop up, and that is actually quite a lot of wood there. Even just for, that's one trunk, and that's probably only 2/3 of it. I don't want to go any further because, well, I have to cut through all that brush there. And then, yeah, let's take a look at that, because this is actually another thing. This is a lot of the mayberry stuff. But yeah, this was completely, basically all of, you see how deep it is there? The gap between here and there, all along. I've had to sort of rip most of it out by hand. Those big cottony things, they pull out the ground easy enough. If you've got gloves on and you just use 2 hands, you can pull them out. You might be able to pull 2 or 3 of them out at a time. But they're just so annoying because every time you cut a branch down and you try and pull it, it whacks you in the head because obviously you're pulling it towards you. And then, yeah, it just whacks you in the head and you get wet, cottony stuff. And honestly, when that stuff goes in your nostrils or your mouth, you're coughing for ages because it's, I don't know, I'm either allergic or I think you just get, my lungs just get inundated with it. This has been tough, very tough going. And I mean, this is the worst one. This is the worst one. I mean, because I mean, the trouble is it all overgrew and I wanted to cut it. I wanted to deal with it back when I put the offering on the house back in December of 2024. Because this happened, yeah, December of 2024. I think it was a day or two after I put the offer in. Anyway, and the offer was, the offer was accepted. This one's not so bad. But yeah, there's a lot there, and there's still a lot here. This is another one. This is a new one, I think. I don't know. Kind of can't remember nowadays. And then you got that one. Yeah, that one's almost like working at height, isn't it, up there? So you're pretty good 7 or 8 foot in the air. Yeah. I guess the thing is, once you take the weight off, that will go up even higher. I think you just have to chop it up into little logs as you go along, I think. Anyway, tough going. Don't know if you can see me. Hi. Yeah, hot and sweaty and dirty, covered in sawdust. But yeah, that's the day. A bit different from my day job. It's alright. Days like today make you realise I've got it pretty easy. Sitting at a desk, just using a noggin. So, right. Cool. Anyway, go and cut some laurel now. Right. Another day in paradise. I have to say, I do like the place. I love being here. So peaceful. Listen to that. It's nice. A little bit bad for him because I know that those trees are going to go. But hey, they'll find somewhere else. So anyway, let's do a bit of walking along. Summary of today. So we've done some logging, at least I guess a lot of clearing, but I wish I'd done more. But things happened, people came and visited, which is great because I'm talking about a lot of other things like the roof. So I'm not so worried about that now, which is really good. And there's a stump there, and there's this here. I've probably already covered some of this in another video, but I'll do a little summary. But yeah, all of this pile here, that's gone. Logs here, and let them dry out on there. I'll put some of the smaller branches as to lift it off the ground so they don't get wet from the rain off the ground. Yeah, just waiting to see if this septic tank guy's going to come and meet me here. I think it could be tomorrow now by the sound of it. Won't be much point coming out with bloody torches. The sun is getting low. It is October after all. Was it the 7th today? Yeah. Yeah, so need to get scraping of that roof. My mate James, good guy, He had a look at it with me. Came over. His work was rained off today. He works in groundwork sort of stuff and laying slab, and when it's raining it's not a good idea. So yeah. Did a bit of the laurel. Absolutely butchered this. I need to get better at doing logging and chopping. But hey, good start anyway. It's a bit more daylight here now. A lot more light. I'll be happy when that's cleared out. Driveway, massive trees. And had the visit from the old owner's uncle. Decent guy. He's a nice guy. He's rocking on. I think he's 80. I found out about him by knocking on the door, because when I bought this place I was told that there was potentially a community mains water scheme where the mains waters run out and then people tap their own supply off the mains. But actually that wasn't true. There is no community mains water scheme on this road. So back to square one, and we are looking at this here. I wouldn't be a weatherman, would I? That is where the well is. But Ben, the old boy, he said it used to run dry, but that could be the pump is knackered. Now, amazingly, we have a pump and we have electrics. Now, I wouldn't be trusting that to supply water to the house, so I only turned it on just to see that there was electrics, and there is. So part of the plumbing work that I'm getting done is going to be it's going to involve a new pump, water softener, water filtration like with UV, and then a reverse osmosis one at the kitchen sink for drinking water. Got a similar setup at my ex's, so it worked well. So I'm gonna go with that sort of setup, and then so that plant room there will be the plant room with all the water filtration stuff. But it's really whether that well is working. So another day I will dig that. I will start getting my way into that. And I found out from the old boy, Uncle Ben, that he that's what I'm gonna know him as, his Uncle Ben. Now he said to me that that's his hay this side, that stuff, and that stuff is the tenant farmer, a farmer who rents the land next to mine, which used to be part of that land. This is separated off with the plot I've got. I'll have to upload a little sort of map of what I've got here, but it's about 0.9, maybe an acre. Doesn't go all the way to the road, that field. The end of that tree that's fallen at the front of that field, like towards the road, is probably about the very edge of my field. So yeah, that's it anyway, guys. Bit more, keep pushing on, as they say, bit by bit. I guess the way to look at it is, if you get something done each day, that's progress, right? Cool. Anyway, see you later, guys. Righty. Tighty. What? Oh, hi. Safety first. Right. Can't hear myself. Oh, knackered. Right, let's have a little show and tell. Let's put this beastie away. I'm going to pack up because I've got to go and pick up Max, my oldest. And I need to retension that chain. Again, I'm not doing it tight enough, I think. Or, I don't know. It's stretching because I'm using it now. Woo! Yeah, so here we go. Lots and lots of logs, and the pile is getting ever bigger. But yeah, we're now I've got three more boughs to cut, and that's about as far as I want to go because I'm really worried about that it's pinging back. So I think the next thing for me to do after I've chopped a bit more of this, after a break, God, I'm knackered. Fair play to tree surgeons and lumberjacks because it's hard work, physically tough. And you have to have your wits about you as well because things ping back, hit you in the face. I bought that mask there, the screw fix special. So my life is kind of screw fix and Lidl Parkside. But yeah, woo!
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Memento mori. Remember the dead. Right, all done for today. Can't be bothered to do any more. But yeah, we got this huge, and I mean huge now, mound of all branches for either bonfiring or chipping. That's the very tops of the tree. And this is all of them cut. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Count with me, guys. 8 trunks on that one. And that's all on that big root ball there. This is the next one. This came down, I think, in Amy, which is why it's not completely surrounded. It just happened to land in amongst all of this stuff. So the stuff hasn't sort of had a chance to kind of grow through it yet. So it's a bit easier. Plus it's only 3 trunks. 3, hopefully 3 big trunks anyway. So that's all of the logs stacked from the main bit. There's obviously a lot more. There's probably, what, I don't know, 20 foot, 15, 20 feet of stump left on them, trunk left. But I'm a little bit apprehensive about doing any more than that because of the, well, I don't want that root ball to ping back without me properly planning it out. Time ran away with me. This is a stack of logs. Oh God. But yeah, there's not going to be much more than that from me today. I'm tired. Yeah, it's been a bit hard actually. Physically and mentally, it's been tough. Right. Anyway, have a good one, guys. Take it easy.